Hey guys, Luke here. I wanted to take a minute today to show you guys how to find these on-site property management jobs and just property management jobs in general. Now, I know the reason that I'm doing this is because I know that a lot of people out there right now, especially in places like New York and LA, have really been hit hard with losing their jobs. I mean, let's face it, this is happening all across the country. But obviously, New York really seems to be in dire straits right now. And here in LA, I know a lot of people personally that are already losing their jobs. And so, me being in the position that I'm in, I feel very fortunate to, one, not have to pay rent, two, have a job that is guaranteed, and three, to actually still be pulling in a paycheck during this time. So I wanted to share this information. This is something that I take people through on my course, but I wanted to get this out there and share it with you guys for free because I just feel like, people need this information right now. On-site property management and just property management in general is a great career path, especially for anybody who is maybe a creative or an entrepreneur or somebody who works from home, whether you're a stay-at-home parent or a retiree. Property management is a phenomenal line of work. I myself am an actor, so I live in Los Angeles. I work this job full time. This is my office that I'm sitting in right now. My apartment is basically right upstairs. My commute to work is about a minute long. It's phenomenal, and I still have time to pursue my passion. I go out for auditions. I just finished a play in January. So yeah, enough about me. I want to show you guys how to find these jobs. Okay, so right now what I have up is sort of my go-to source for property management jobs here in LA. I don't know why, but more often than not, I find these here in LA on Craigslist. Now, I just want to make sure that I have the right address in here. Okay. So all we're going to do is type in on-site property manager. Now, this will probably initially bring up just apartments. Yeah, it brings us right to housing. But we want to go down to jobs. So, assistant property manager, here's what you see. You see an entire list here. I mean, there's only 14 here, which is actually a pretty slim list right now. So I don't know if they are taking some of these down. Here's the deal. Anybody that lives in California, these jobs are required for any building that has more than 15 units. Okay, so if you live in an apartment building that has even 16 units and you don't have an on-site property manager, maybe consider just reaching out to your management company and offering them the services, or reaching out to your local inspector and letting them know, hey, I live in this building and we don't have an on-site property manager, because it is a requirement. Okay, so what we see here is, okay, we've got an assistant property manager. So our client, a real estate company located in Los Angeles, is looking for an assistant property manager to join their team ASAP. The company is very established all throughout the U.S. The ideal candidate will be able to begin ASAP and hit the ground running. Salary hourly rate is $20 to $24 an hour. That's probably DOE, meaning depending on experience. Position overview. The assistant property manager will work alongside the property manager and will have real estate experience. So this is a great opportunity for somebody who has zero property management experience, or perhaps even zero management experience, because you are going to work directly with the property manager. So that's phenomenal. The assistant property manager will also have experience with Yardi, MRI and or Nexus. Now, I've never heard of MRI or Nexus. The two platforms that I see over and over again and I have experience with myself are Yardi and Appfolio. Okay, now you can gain this experience simply by going to YouTube and watching YouTube videos on how to operate these systems. They are not complicated. If you can use Facebook, and you can create a Facebook ad, you can create any kind of a group or business marketing campaign, or you can post up something to sell on Facebook, then you can probably manage your way through one of these platforms. So what I tell my students is what you have to do is go to YouTube, watch these videos, start to understand how the platform works, and then on your resume, you are going to put that you have a working knowledge of Yardi or Appfolio or whatever the case may be, MRI or Nexus. Again, I've never heard of either of those. To me, an MRI is something they do when you go to the hospital and they scan your brain or something like that. Okay, so, to me, I don't even know what that is. But if I was going to apply for this job, I would go on to YouTube and I would go to MRI or, training videos for MRI and Nexus. And I would watch these, and then I would put on my resume that I have a working knowledge of these things. Okay, so because I understand how to use it, because I watched some videos, because I educated myself, I feel comfortable saying that. I'm not saying I have used it before, that I have direct firsthand experience. I am saying I have working knowledge. Is very specific wording. Okay, you got to be a politician sometimes, right? Okay, so this is what they are looking for. Responsibilities of the assistant property manager. Basic accounting, okay? So you're probably going to be the person that handles the checks, does the checks and balances, make sure that the amount that people are paying is equal to what their rent actually is. Assisting with 2 to 3 properties, fantastic. That means you're going to have the opportunity to gain even more experience. Light AP/AR. Again, I don't even know what that stands for. So look, I've been doing this for years. Sometimes you see things on here that are just kind of seem out of left field, and you don't need to have every single piece of experience, okay? A lot of you out there have plenty of transferable skills. I talk about this in my course. What are your translatable skills? What have you done in your life that can translate over to on-site property management or just property management in general? Okay. And if you take my course, then I go through a whole list of these things that you can basically say, hey, this is my skill set. This is what I've done in my life. And this is how this translates over. Okay. So qualifications for the assistant property manager, real estate experience. Now, if you have real estate experience, obviously that is a big bonus. I would say I had some real estate experience before I got into property management, but the main thing was that, that was basically vacation rentals. It was Airbnbs. I wouldn't necessarily say that it was real estate experience. I'm not real estate certified or anything like that. So, I think that is a loose term. Okay, again, MRI, Yardi, and Nexus. Customer service, current real estate license preferred. Again, I know plenty of property managers that do not have a real estate license. That's not a must. Okay, preferred. Ability to begin ASAP. Now, that probably is a must. Can you begin today? And if you lost your job recently, then I would say that you can. So if this is you, this is a great opportunity. It's going to pay you $20 to $24 an hour working full time. That's almost $200 a day. All right. I don't know what you make right now. This is a foot in the door job. This is the way that I look at this. This is a job that you could apply for, get your foot in the door, and then start managing your own property, your own building, like I do here. I manage a 90-unit building. I live rent-free. I pay no rent. I mean, I guess rent-free would indicate that, but I literally get paid to manage this building. Okay, so I think this is a great great foot in the door opportunity. Let's check out another one. Now hiring experienced property manager full time. Now, look, when it says experienced, again, I think that this is a wiggle room term, because if you have management experience, if you've ever managed a commercial property, or I don't care if you were the store manager at McDonald's, that means that somebody left you, entrusted you with their property to look over their business, to handle their money. I mean, that carries a lot of weight. Okay, maybe you don't have firsthand property management experience, or maybe you've even done like what I did when I first started. Maybe you did Airbnb, maybe you've done VRBO or something like that. Okay, if that's the case, then you do have some property management experience. A lot of those skills there, a lot of the things that you do as a vacation rental manager are very similar to being an on-site property manager. Okay, so what are they wanting? Now, Spanish speaking required. I mean, that's a huge leg up for anybody that speaks Spanish out there. Now, a lot of these jobs will say that bilingual is a plus, but if Spanish speaking is required, I mean, one, that eliminates a lot of other people out there. So if you are a Spanish speaker, I mean, that's a huge bonus here. Okay, so I would say this is worth applying to. You must have on-site property management experience, at least 30 unit for a minimum of 2 years. Again, a lot of these places will say that you need to have this minimum experience. When I first took over an on-site property management job, they asked for the same thing. And the only experience that I had was basically running an Airbnb, okay? Far from on-site property management experience. I mean, again, a lot of the skills translate, but it's not a minimum of 2 years experience like they're asking for here. So you must be willing to live on site, which generally means that you are going to have to move unless you live in this building that they are specifically looking for. Must be willing to work from an office at the property and maintain office hours. This is basically what I do right here. Okay, I live in this building. I come down here. I do my thing. At the end of the day, I can make one of these videos because I'm here already. I mean, I'll walk upstairs when I'm done with this and I'll be home. It's no big deal. You must be willing to work for, I just read that. Must have experience with marketing. And now look, your marketing experience here literally can be the extent that you've posted onto Craigslist before. I mean, look at where they're posting this right now. They are posting this job on Craigslist. This person wasn't a marketing major, whoever made this. Probably not. I mean, if they were, I'd have to say, hey, Bill, why don't you post this somewhere else where we might find some other candidates? But at the end of the day, the marketing experience that is required here is not that extensive. So don't let that scare you. Must be willing to communicate effectively with tenants as well as management. Okay. I mean, effective communication in any job is going to be pretty much a priority. So, use your imagination. If you can talk, you can communicate. Let's spruce it up a bit. Okay. Make it a little flowery. Let them know, hey, you want poetry? I'll give you poetry. Okay, you can communicate effectively. Okay, if you can listen to this and you can stand to listen to me talk and we could have a conversation, then you can communicate effectively. You must be able to handle challenging situations. I mean, that is a vague term. What is a challenging situation? Okay. Anybody that is living through this moment right now in history, you are living through the coronavirus. You can handle a challenging situation. Congratulations. You must be willing to work as a team. Okay, come on. Like, have you ever played team sports? You ever played soccer when you were a kid? Were you ever in little league? Did you play football? Great. You can do a team. You can work as a teammate. Congratulations. The compensation for this is $1,000 to $1,200 per month, plus an apartment, plus benefits depending on experience. Okay. I mean, I think that's a great starting opportunity. My first on-site property management job paid me $500 a month plus a free apartment. I mean, no, could I live on just $500 a month? No, I still had to do other things to make money, but the ownership understood that I still had to make money. They didn't expect me to be there 24/7, slaving away so that, just to make $500 and live rent free. Even in Los Angeles, New York, even if you don't have to pay rent, that's not enough money to live on. So more than likely, this says full time, they're still going to understand if you are doing something on the side to make money. Yardi knowledge is a plus. Great communication skills is a plus. Excel, Word knowledge is a plus. Notice all of these things say plus, not must. Plus, okay? So hypothetically, you could not know Yardi, you could be a terrible communicator, and you could have no clue about Excel or Word, and you could possibly still land this job. Now, would I say that you've got a good chance? No, definitely not. But it's a possibility because these are plus, not must, okay? Must have a valid driver's license and a vehicle. Okay, so if you're on the heel toe express and you can't drive, all right, let's look at the next one. All right, now hiring on-site property manager Van Nuys. Okay, Van Nuys is, I don't know, probably about 25 or 30 minutes away from here in Los Angeles. It's north, so yeah, this all depends on where you want to live in some cases too. But, look, again, right now, if you're somebody who lost a job and you're coming up on having to start to pay rent, or, you're going to basically have to pay rent and you don't have a job, then, maybe moving to Van Nuys is not a bad idea right now. And this is an opportunity to get your foot in the door and to get some experience as an on-site property manager. And then, in 2 years, you could be living 10 minutes from Beverly Hills and 2 miles from the beach like I do. Okay. Making a full-time salary, basically a full package of like $75,000 a year, being an on-site property manager, living rent-free. It's a possibility. Okay. I mean, we're living in strange times right now. Think about it. Okay, so now hiring on-site property manager. Please do not apply if you do not meet the requirements. Hold on. Hello. Okay, I'll buzz you in. Okay. Little property manager business right there. Okay, so must have a valid driver's license and vehicle. This is a part-time position. Speaking Spanish is required. Okay, again, you have to speak Spanish. They probably have a lot of tenants in this building who speak Spanish, and they're going to need you to be able to communicate with them effectively. Okay, on-site property management experience is a plus. Again, plus, not must. So, same skill sets, okay? Communication, teamwork, a little bit of marketing, and obviously management, okay? Microsoft Excel experience is a plus. Yardi experience is a plus. Applicants must be able to pass a background investigation, employment reference check, and drug test. Although the state of California has legalized recreational marijuana use, we maintain an alcohol and drug-free workplace. We are an equal opportunity employer. This compensation comes with a free apartment plus benefits depending on experience. The employment type is part-time. Again, I think this is a great beginning opportunity for anybody who would like to get into on-site property management. You know, I think that there's a lot of the things here that translate over from any type of work that you could possibly have done in your life. Okay, sounds like they are going to be strict on the you know, alcohol and drug use policy, which, you know, hopefully isn't a problem for you. Now, before I go any too much further into the listings out here, I just wanted to show you what these listings look like here on Craigslist. And I did want to take you over to a couple other platforms that you can actually find these jobs on, because I find I find Craigslist to be very useful for finding on-site property management jobs in Los Angeles and in California in particular. However, to find these jobs in New York or Chicago or any other part of the country, it's not as easy to find them here on Craigslist. So what I recommend is going over to a place like Indeed, for example. So if you check out Indeed, you will come in. I already set this up. I went into New York. Okay, so let's check out some of these opportunities in New York. Here we have bilingual property manager. Okay, again, great opportunity for anybody that speaks both English and Spanish. Now, not all of these are going to be on-site property management opportunities, but they are property management opportunities, which again is your foot in the door. And look, this looks like a pretty good opportunity, 70 to 80K a year. Apply with your Indeed resume. Indeed makes it really easy to apply for these jobs once you have basically filled out your application and set up your profile. So, got to fix my hair. Hold on. Okay. That's about like how I like it. Perfect. Okay, so job description. ELH Management LLC is currently seeking a multi-site property manager to oversee a portfolio of rent-stabilized, affordable, and market-rate buildings located in the Bronx and Manhattan. Again, we just talked about how New York has been really hard hit during this period. I know a lot of people have lost their jobs. I know I used to live in New York. I know people personally that have lost their jobs. They worked in the restaurant industry. So guys, if you're out there and you're listening to me, you need to start looking into some on-site property management opportunities. I know a lot of you are actors, are creative people, and you don't want to give up your flexible lifestyle and your ability to go out there and make your movies and audition. Okay, another property manager. Okay, sorry if this is a little choppy, guys. I'm a property manager. People come and go. So I am just trying to get this information out there for you guys because I think it will be really valuable for anybody out there, again, that's lost their job. So again, this is all information that I go over in my course, Savvy Management Solutions. You can find my course at savvymanagementsolutions.com. Look, the course is not cheap, but if you contact me and let me know that you have been affected by the coronavirus pandemic, that you've lost your job, then I will do something special for you guys. But I need you to basically contact me via email at savvymgnt2020 @gmail. Anyway, I'll put that info in the box down below. So, bilingual property manager, 70 to 80K a year. Okay, here's another one. Confidential real estate. Urgently hiring property manager, seeking experienced property manager for large Manhattan rental property. Great opportunity for professional, ethical, and experienced manager to impact the operation of a substantial property to grow the organization. Now, 90K to 130K a year, they're definitely looking for somebody with more experience. So we won't really dive into this one. Okay, here's another one that is more likely up your alley. Okay, assistant property manager, affordable housing by Lisa Management. Lisa Management Inc., a New York City-based real estate company, is looking for an assistant property manager for its affordable housing team. The ideal candidate should be reliable, detail-oriented, possesses excellent written and verbal communication skills, be able to learn quickly and remain calm in high-pressure situations while maintaining the highest level of professionalism. Okay? Duties include, but are not limited to, provide administrative support to property manager under minimum supervision. Hey, great news for anybody out there that is an actor or creative or a stay-at-home parent or somebody that needs a really flexible lifestyle. They basically just told you that this is a very flexible job. Minimum supervision. That means that they are going to trust you to get the job done without somebody looking over your shoulder, you showing up to an office every day, showing up to be locked into certain hours. This is the opportunity. This is a entry-level position, basically, as a property manager or an assistant property manager that gets your foot in the door into property management. You are going to have to satisfy anticipated property manager requirements and proactively seek solutions. Okay, so basically, once you learn the job, they want you to be able to anticipate the property manager requirements. Now, again, anybody that takes my course, you'll pretty much know what the property manager requirements for a lot of things are, because I teach you how to find the job, get the job, and do the job of an on-site property manager. So anybody that takes that course will have an understanding of what a property manager is going to need. So you'll already have a leg up, I would say. They are going to need you to prepare routine and ad hoc reporting as required, including but not limited to legal case tackling reports, delinquency reports, work order reports, building staff payroll tracking, and reporting. This basically means you are going to have to fill out paperwork, okay? You're going to track if people are not paying the rent, which, good news, most people pay their rent on time. So the amount of delinquency reports that you are going to have to do on a monthly basis is going to be pretty low. Legal case tracking reports. Good news. In the entire almost 4 years that I have been a property manager, I may have had to do one legal case in that entire time. Okay, so that's not something that is going to be a regular job requirement. Work order reports. Now that will be something that will be an ongoing thing. Work orders. People are going to call up and basically have plumbing issues and electrical issues, or some mild maintenance issue, and you are going to have to basically fill out those reports, it looks like. Sounds pretty easy. Nobody's expecting you to actually go and do that job. You might have to make the call to the guy to do the job, okay? Building staff payroll tracking and reporting. That's probably the most complex part of this job. Truthfully, I have never done building staff payroll tracking and reporting, so I have no idea what that entails, but If they are leaving that to an assistant property manager, my guess is that it's not that complicated. Okay, you are going to deliver high-level customer service in fielding all tenant communication and handling tenant matters, take tenant complaints, enter work orders. So you're basically going to be a liaison. You are going to listen to people complain. You're going to handle their complaints, and you're going to deal with them. I mean, pretty simple. You're going to be kind. You're going to be courteous. You're going to listen, and you're going to respond. Okay, that's basically what that means. You're going to conduct apartment inspections to maintain standards as per New York City's headquarter guidelines. So you will probably need to know some of New York City's headquarter guidelines. What I would do if this were me is I would talk to the property manager about what those things are, because they are going to have a better idea of what things are actually regularly enforced and what things are just kind of outdated that nobody pays any attention to anymore. I mean, let's face it, there are still a lot of laws and things on the books that, quite frankly, serve no purpose anymore in a lot of places, and they don't get enforced by the law. Okay, so not telling you to not pay attention to it, but that's just the way that it is. That's a reality. Okay, so you are going to maintain up-to-date leasing documents and appropriately, and provide files for property managers as necessary. So you're going to make sure that the leasing documents are maintained properly, which basically, after somebody signs the lease, that document is left alone until somebody needs to be added onto the lease or taken off the lease. Okay, so that is really not a high maintenance job either. That's, most times you're not going to touch the lease after the lease is signed. So the majority of that maintenance, in my guess, is probably organization related. So if you can file documents, if you can put files onto your computer into a place where you know that they're located and easy to access, or you can put them into a filing cabinet, then congratulations, you can organize these files and you can maintain these leasing documents. Again, you got to think about this. You're the assistant property manager. They are not going to leave anything that is super sensitive or pressing in the hands of somebody that basically has one of the lowest level positions in the company, right? If it is highly sensitive, highly important, if it means somebody's job or they're going to get sued if something's not done correctly, they're not going to leave that in the hands of somebody that has the least amount of experience. So don't be frightened. Let's see. You're going to attend required meetings, record and file meeting minutes, okay, if required. In my time as a property manager, I literally have never once had a company meeting. I don't know how many of these companies out there have company meetings. I've spoken to one property manager in my time, and I know dozens, but I've known one whose company actually had meetings. And, oddly enough, that company basically was run by a slumlord. So it's kind of funny that they had meetings. But, at any rate, my guess is that these meetings are not an everyday thing. Maybe every week or month would be my guess. I mean, getting together with everybody in your company to talk about nothing is a waste of time. So people aren't going to do that unless it is absolutely essential. Okay? And it sounds like your job is going to be pretty simple. You're going to record and file meeting minutes. Easy. Qualifications: 1 to 3 years of experience in real estate office, any experience in affordable housing and or dealing with New York City and state regulatory agencies. Okay, well, they are looking for some legit experience in a real estate office. Now, that might not be a must. It might be a plus. So they did put it number one. It's probably pretty high on their list, but I would say that if you have enough other translatable skills, then you're still a candidate for this job. Okay, so excellent communication skills, excellent organization skills, intermediate Excel skills, a bachelor's degree preferred. Okay, salary $50K a year. It's a full-time position. Pay commensurate to skill/experience. Additional compensation, performance bonuses. That's interesting. Work location, Manhattan office, will include field work. Field work basically means you're going to go out to the properties. Okay, you're going to be going to these buildings that people live in and checking them out. You're going to making sure that things are being maintained well. Okay, that's where a lot of the flexibility of this job is going to come in. Benefits, medical, vision, and dental insurance, 10 days paid vacation, professional development assistance. So hey, that's great. They're professional development assistants. I think if you made it known that you are somebody who is willing to learn everything that they need, including this real estate experience, then again, you're a candidate. You're a qualified candidate if you've got enough translatable skills. Other position info. Oh, we already went over that. Typical start time, 9 a.m. Typical end time, 6 p.m. Again, why does it say typical? Because it's not required. They're not expecting you to actually work every day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And by the way, there's going to be an hour lunch break in there. So, again, this job is a job that offers a lot of wiggle room. Okay. It's a job that sounds like a lot of these things can be done from the comfort of your own home, so you can work this around your schedule to some degree. So I just wanted to take you through some of these and show you what the possibilities are. I mean, we could keep going on and on. Assistant property manager, 41 to 51K a year. Accounts manager, 55 to 70K a year. Senior property manager, 50 to 120K a year. Okay, but let's. I just noticed this one. Assistant property manager, 19 to 23 an hour. My guess is that this is part-time. Particular job post is no longer active. Okay, anyway, I want to take you over to ZipRecruiter really quick because, again, this is another platform where you can find these jobs. Again, I have set this up for New York because I know New York is going through hell right now. So, I mean, look at it right here. They're talking about the COVID-19 crisis. Okay, look. If you are affected by this is a legitimate line of work. This is a line of work that is not going away. Properties need property managers. That's not going to change. And in a lot of places, it's a required position. You can't just have a building and then say nobody manages this, because that's going to ultimately lead to a rundown building with a lot of problems, with a lot of tenant complaints, and possibly putting people in danger. So real estate property manager, again, this doesn't list the pay or the benefits. It does say it's full-time. I'm not too keen on checking things out that don't tell me how much they're going to pay me right off the bat. So property manager, again, pay not listed, but it does come with medical, dental, vision, 401k, full-time. Property manager, 90 to 110K a year. Let's just take a look at this. I've never heard of Kew Gardens, I'm probably screwing that up, but it's in Queens, okay? Management portfolio of cooperatives and condominium high-rise properties. Accountable for all business, financial, and management aspects of the assigned property, including preparing, implementing, and adhering to approved strategic plan, a budget up for the property, developing, maintaining strong work relationships with board members, shareholders, and unit owners. Look, this isn't a beginner's opportunity here, so we're just going to back out of that. What we're looking for are beginner opportunities for people who have never property managed before or don't have the experience. Let's take a look at this. Anything that's going to offer hourly rate is probably, ripe for the picking for somebody who doesn't have much experience. Employment type temporary. Well, I mean, that doesn't thrill me. But look, this is an opportunity that is paid. It's a foot in the door. I can't tell you much more beyond that. But look, again, to get into one of these other opportunities that offer a little bit more stability, then you need to get your foot in the door somehow. And if you've just lost your job, then taking a temporary job where you're making $20 an hour is not a bad opportunity. Okay. You are a property manager, affordable housing. Okay, let's take a look at this. Has over 11,000 units. Property manager, you will interact with tenants as you handle a variety of management issues, including collections, lease administration, and complaints. You will also ensure proper and timely maintenance of the property itself via visual inspections and coordination with the maintenance staff. This is a very standard property manager job, okay? You are basically dealing with the tenants, and look, more often than not, dealing with the tenants is either over the phone or over an email, okay? Again, that's super flexible. Including rent collections. Most of the time, you don't have to go knock on somebody's door to collect the rent. I know that you see that in the movies, but that's not reality. I've literally never done that. I've never knocked on somebody's door and asked them to pay the rent. That's a conversation that can happen over the phone or over an email. In fact, I prefer over the email because it's proof that you communicated with them or you tried to communicate with them. Lease administration. That's very simple. You are going to be part of the lease signing process. It's not complicated. The way they put it, lease administration, makes it sound more complicated than it is. It's not. You will ensure proper and timely maintenance of the property itself. Pretty basic. Somebody calls you up and says, hey, my sink is clogged. Okay, you're going to call the plumber. The plumber is going to go and fix it. Okay, that's a pretty simple thing. If you live in a building with a pool and the water has basically fallen below a certain point, you will have the pool refilled. Okay, that actually probably is something that you could do. That's something that I do in the pool right back here on a regular basis. Okay, it's an outdoor pool. The water evaporates. I fill it back up. It's pretty simple. All I have to do is turn a switch and the water flows. So again, sometimes they make these jobs sound more complicated because they want to get really qualified candidates, which I understand. Okay, but a lot of translatable skills apply. And, if you are willing to apply yourself to learn a little bit about how this stuff works, and at the end of the day, you will learn it if you're doing the job, just because you can't help but learn something if you're doing it. So it really is not that complicated. I know when I first started, I was probably more nervous about the job than I needed to be. And, that was good because it made me extra sharp and pay extra attention to the things that needed to be paid attention to at the beginning. But after the first couple of months, I knew everything that was really going to be thrown my way. At the time, I didn't know that I knew everything. So I still, for a few more months was hyper vigilant about paying attention to everything. But after the first 6 months, I understood, okay, I really have a good understanding of this. I can relax. And I knew when I could relax and when I needed to turn my game face on, so to speak. Okay. Let's see, what else we got? Property Rochelle Village or Rockdale Village, Jamaica. Let's see, 58 to 60K a year. Medical, dental, great company, professional, friendly work environment, opportunity to secure a full-time position. Oversee and coordinate all real estate transactions, attract and educate new tenants, and investigate and resolve tenant complaints, update and improve properties to increase return on investment, ensure all work order and repair requests are processed in a timely fashion, supervise and train property staff, enforce property and associations rules and regulations. Okay, this is great. This is all very basic. One thing I really like here that stands out is that they want to update and improve properties to increase return on investment. That tells me that they are not a cheap company. Okay, sometimes these property management companies literally don't want to do any work on the building. So that becomes a problem, or it becomes a hard thing to deal with, because whoever's responsible for forking out the cash to make sure things are up to date and improved and looking good and making people want to come and live there, that person just is cheap, to put it plainly. And that makes it harder, because then ultimately people don't want to live there, people don't want to move in there, which only makes your job more difficult. So I like that, because that tells me that this is a company that cares about their property. They want to improve it, they want to make it better, and which makes, believe it or not, makes your job easier in the long run. Supervise and train property staff. I'd be curious to know what types of thing they want you to train them in. My guess would be to train people like cleaners on where to clean, when to clean, what things need attention, but I don't know. You probably need to inquire about this job to find out more about that. Previous experience in property management or other related fields. These are qualifications: familiarity with real estate contracts and leases, ability to build rapport with tenants, ability to multitask and prioritize, excellent written and verbal communication skills. Okay, I'm just going to take a minute to finish up this one, and then I'm going to hop over to one other thing I want to show you, and then I'm going to finish this video. Now, the qualifications that they're looking for here are previous experience in property management or other related fields. Okay, if you do any management of any kind, to me, that is a related field. If you've done Airbnb or VRBO, anything like that, that's related. Familiarity with real estate contracts and leases. Okay, you can gain that familiarity by simply, again, going to YouTube and watching some videos on this, going over to Google and looking up real estate contracts, leases. If you were to email me directly, I could give you an example of what a lease, a standard lease agreement looks like. I'd be happy to send you an example, okay? This stuff is easy to find. You don't need to go to college to find this stuff, to learn it. It's simple, okay? Ability to build rapport with tenants, okay? I mean, that's relational, okay? If you can communicate well with people and you can build a nice conversation, an ongoing conversation, that's basically what you're having with these people, okay? That's a simple requirement. Ability to multitask and prioritize, excellent written and verbal communication skills, okay? Again, guys, these jobs are available. They're out there. They aren't going away. You can get them. And look, The last thing I want to is jobs right here. And I'm not applying for them because I'm looking. I just put my resume out there because I want to help you. Okay. These are opportunities right here. These are people who are basically reaching out to me because they see my resume. They are looking for a qualified property manager. And look, anybody that takes my course and can pass my course test, I am happy to work with. I am happy to help you find a job. I am happy to help you get placed into a property management position of some sort. I will be your reference. I will be your guide. I will tell you what you need to know. I have all of this information on my course that I go into deep detail on how to find the job, get the job, and do the job of an on-site property manager. Now, being an on-site property manager has a lot of translatable skills over into all types of property management. So even though I just went through a lot of opportunities right there, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, those jobs are not all on-site property management jobs. They are just different property management jobs. Okay, so these jobs, a lot of the skills translate over. And look, if you can get your foot in the door, then you're setting yourself up for one, a job that's not going to go away, two, a place that you can build from, and three, hopefully, possibly, an opportunity where you can start to live rent-free like I do. That's it for this video. I just wanted to share this information with you guys. I think if you follow what we went along with in this video, you can start to go ahead, look for the right property management position for you, and start preparing your resume, prepare your cover letter, prepare all this information so that you can approach the job and apply for the job with confidence and go into the interview, know what you need to say, know how you need to prepare yourself. This is, again, all stuff that I cover in depth in my course of how to become an on-site property manager, how to find a job, get the job, and do the job. You can find this information over at savvymanagementsolutions.com. I'll put the link down there in the bio. I hope everybody out there that is watching this, heed some of the advice if you are interested in doing this type of work. And if you have lost your job due to the pandemic, I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering for you. If you are interested in taking the course, then I'm here. Reach out to me. Let me know what your situation is, and I'll see how I can help you. Again, you can contact me simply by emailing me at, I'm looking for where is it? Oh, well. Savvy Management or Savvy MGMT 2020 at gmail.com. I'll put that down there in the bio. I know this video is a little rough. It's a little choppy. My goal is to get the information out there as fast as possible so that you guys can start getting back on your feet for some of those that have just had the